On the track, the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase. A couple of pages there, but Hyven Kieng is the athlete to take note of, along with Emma Coburn, the American record holder, and Geisa Krause, medalist from the World Championships last year. And then this young lady here, Ruth Jibet from Bahrain, the 19-year-old who had a real go in Shanghai, almost beating Kieng, the world champion. And Emma Coburn, first steeplechase of the year, has had a good start to the season, over 1,500 meters, says she's ready for this, been looking forward to her first outing over the barriers. There's the world champion, and in Shanghai ran a superb 9 minutes 7.42, just a couple of tenths away from the Kenyan record. So the women's steeplechase, 7.5 laps of the track plus a little bit, because the water jump is on the inside here in Eugene. Oh, one or two little stumbles there, but everyone's managing to stay on their feet. And it'd be interesting to see how fast they go here. I'm not quite sure that Shalea Kip, who's going to be setting the pace, can go hard enough, long enough. But Kieng, and certainly Jibet, who really threw down the gauntlet to Kieng in Shanghai, capable of picking the pace up themselves. But Kip just got them going at a pace which they've asked for, something to bring them home in around 9:10, which would be great to see. I certainly think Kieng is capable of going sub 9 minutes based on what we saw in Shanghai.
I think you're right to mention Jibet, because of Bahrain. She really set the tenor of that race in Shanghai. She really went for it, and if you remember, she stumbled. She hit the inside rail and stumbled and fell coming into the home straight. So but we'll see what she can do, but certainly having Kieng of Kenya, the world champion, looked very, very good. At one stage they were well inside 9.7 in fact, and I'm not surprised that it petered out, or a little, well, when you say 9.7, it didn't peter out. It was a very quick time indeed, but certainly it looked as though it might have been a bit quicker eventually. But we'll get a timing on the laps, but they are looking at 9:10 pace for the first 3 or 5 laps. But certainly whether that pacemaker, as you say, can keep it going, we'll see.
So Kip leading, and a pretty good pace through the first 500-600, spot on. They really are turning it on. The pacemaker didn't last too long. Jibet decided enough was enough. She wanted to really force the pace. They've gone through the first 1,000, didn't get a split, the clock didn't stop, but it looked under 3 minutes to me, or very close to 3 minutes. So Jibet leading, the world champion Kieng is behind her, and then a couple of the other Kenyans trying to chase Chepkirui, Nyambura. But look at this, Jibet. This is exactly what she did in Shanghai, and if anybody didn't see it, what happened was in the latter stages, Kieng reeled her in, and then Jibet almost came a cropper, and the last 120 meters she actually stepped on the curb. It was fatigue more than anything else, and no wonder, because she was almost running at world record pace. Don't forget, only one athlete, Galkina, has ever gone under 9 minutes for the steeplechase. Milka Chemos is still the Kenyan record holder, but Jibet here, well, former Kenyan, now running for Bahrain, just 19 years of age, has certainly set a stall out here. It might be unwise, and one thing you've got to see, the difference between Jibet and Kieng, the world champion, is the way they take the barriers. Jibet still is struggling to find a good technique, and when you watch the difference between the two of them, watch Jibet here, stutters into every barrier, almost lifts the undercarriage, I describe it, whereas Kieng, who's just a slightly shorter athlete, hurdles, properly hurdles.
Yeah, she lines it up much better, whereas Jibet, it just comes up on her before she's really ready for it. And but this is exactly the same race we saw in Shanghai. It was Jibet. I wonder what she's learned from that. I wonder what she's learned from it. But
nothing, obviously, Stu. Unless she, you know, she must have a lot of confidence and think she can go out here, run from the front. What she knows is that Kieng is quicker in the last 400 meters, and that probably is determining the tactics. But this is really strong running, and they're coming around now with 3 laps to go. Emma Coburn is leading the chasing bunch. That's the battle for 4th place at the moment, but they're a good 30-40 meters behind the leader, Jibet. Kieng trying to be patient, trying to just keep her in sight. Chepkoech in 3rd place, and then Emma Coburn chasing And of course, this is the part of the race where you're entering the last 1,000 meters and that hard pace, and every time checking your stride, stuttering into each barrier. There she goes again, taking it. That takes energy, and in the early part of the race it doesn't matter so much, but it comes back to really grab you in the latter stages. But does she have a big enough lead? This is a bigger lead than she had in Shanghai, and this time when she comes round it'll be 2 laps to go, and Kieng, who herself doesn't take the water jump very well there, well, she's got some work to do, Stu.
Yeah, she has. I mean, Jibet looks good, doesn't she? I mean, she has won the Asian Games title. That was a couple of seasons ago, and that was at the age of 17. So she's got a little bit of experience in the major championship, but this is a big lead indeed. And I just wonder if she can keep this sort of relaxed rhythm going, then, well, I tell you what, there could be a bit of an upset, because the world champion looked so dominant in the final stages the last time out, and that is a bigger gap.
We're heading for something really quick here. Jibet in the front, where she's been for the last 3 or 4 laps, still maybe taking that barrier a little bit better than some of the others she's taken. Kieng at the moment making no inroads into that lead whatsoever. If anything, the lead is extending, and she's heading for a super quick time here. Kieng is the 6th fastest athlete of all time. 3 Kenyans ahead of her on the list. Then Volkova, Kharibi, the world silver medalist, and then Galkina with a world record of 8:58.81. This, if Jibet can finish strongly, is not going to be too far away from 9 minutes. And that world record, as I said, only 1 athlete ever has gone under 9 minutes. The next best time is Kharibi with 9:5, and Jibet looking so good, so strong, stuttering again.
If she can get her hurdling right and be more relaxed over those barriers, then, you know, who knows? I mean, she could really go below that 9-minute barrier. I don't think there's any making that. There's about 30 meters, and it's not getting any less.
Kieng is going to be heading for a quick time as well. She had a little look at the clock as she went through the bell, and she sensed for the first time that the gap is just starting to close. Much better there from Jibet, attacking that barrier. Kieng hurdles it well. She's still 20 meters behind though, and Jibet really fell apart on the last lap in Shanghai. This time she's looking a lot stronger, but there again, look, almost coming to a stop there. Kieng closing with every stride. 200 meters to go for Jibet. The time just starting to slip away from her a little bit, still heading for one of the quickest ever steeplechases. That was much better from her, attacking the steeplechase through the water for the last time. Kieng though is close, and she's closing. The crowd on their feet in the home straight here. It's Jibet with one more barrier to complete. Takes it better this time, but here comes the world champion, and Kieng is finishing quickly. The clock is ticking away. Kieng is still coming. She's still coming. Is she going to get there? Kieng of Kenya might not get there. It's Jibet who wins it. 8:59.96. The 2nd and 3rd quickest times of all time. Emma Coburn coming in for a quick time as well. That could well be an American record. It won't be too far away. Almost a world record for Jibet. Look at that. She's just 19 years of age, and well done for hanging on. Kieng attacked. She attacked hard and looked as though she might get there, but Jibet hung on for the win, and that was a brilliant race.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Look at the rate at which she was closing down Jibet, and I almost wished Jibet to get there, because she's done all the work, and she really did almost suffer at the end by defeat, but it was a half a meter and sub-9. Fabulous time. Emma Coburn, 9:10.76.
And that is an American record for Emma Coburn. Congratulations to Coburn in 3rd spot. Great performance from her. That moves her up on the world all-time list as well. But that was almost a world record. If this young girl can learn to take the barrier, she took 1 or 2 okay on the last lap in particular. It was a much better last lap. She doesn't have the speed of Kieng, who was finishing so quickly. A little check there. And look at Kieng, she attacks it hard, and then she can maintain her pace much better off the barrier. Left it too late though, but you can't really argue with that, can you? Both of them running the 2nd and 3rd quickest times of all time. And just here you thought, is she going to get there? Is she going to get there? Jibet hanging on though. Brave, brave run, and she got the reward. Brilliant picture. Not much in it in the end, but that's the difference between winning and coming second. So Ruth Jebet, 8 minutes, 59.97. Kieng, just 100th away from going under 9 minutes. Emma Coburn with a new American record in third place, and season's best following behind those three.